Once again, the tiles have gone through a complete redesign and they are now better than ever. I'm DM Daniel, I make free D&D stuff, and for the past few months I've been working on my own dungeon tile system for D&D. I wanted to build a system that was both versatile, easy to use, and looked good. So the first thing I did was trying to figure out a way to print the tiles standing upright. My first attempt was to have a kind of shell that you'd print upright and then cover a core where the magnets would go. It sort of worked, but there were issues, most importantly with durability. So that idea was scrapped, and then I tried to print the tiles as a complete block with slots for the magnets to be pushed through. But what I found was, as long as the magnets could come in, they would eventually find their way out. So the next idea was a core with compartments for the magnets. Then all I needed was a lid with tiles on the top. But I didn't just want to use glue to close them up. So I came up with a push-fit system where you can click on the tiles to the base and then remove them if you want to do that. In this version, I also made room for my own clip system in case you didn't want to use magnets. These clips also went through a few iterations. This system worked pretty well, but unfortunately the pins had a tendency to break. In all this chaos, I then decided to add even more to my plate by creating hexagonal versions of my tiles. I spent way too long coming up with a solution to be able to combine the two types. Most likely, no one will ever use the two at the same time, but now they can. As we say here at Masterful Dungeons, and by we I mean me, if you're gonna do something, might as well overdo it. Next, I wanted to add walls, and I figured out a clever little solution. The walls would clip onto a smaller version of the tile bases, but they could also be clipped onto the full-sized base. Then I wanted to see if it was possible to make the tiles double-sided. I even tested out using it to make walls. I tried a double-sided base, but there were too many issues which affected the quality of the print, so I gave up on this whole thing. And for now, I focused instead on the idea of attaching a wall to the core bases. I really liked this idea, but everywhere I turned, it just caused issues. It was too complicated for it to be a feasible solution, so it was scrapped. But this brings us to the newest version that I just finished today. These might look normal, but they're not. They are actually double-sided, except for that one. So how did I do it? Well, it's still a push-fit system, but instead of having a core that the tiles clip onto, each tile simply is half a core. But that's not all. Because they are now thicker, they can be printed upright, meaning that they also look fantastic. The next step is to add more floor types, furniture, props, and other accessories. So how do you get a hold of this? Well, I'm sorry to say, but you can't just yet. It's still being prototyped, but it won't be long until it's published, and as usual, it will be made available for free to anyone who wants to print them themselves. But the printed tiles can also be bought from my Etsy store. If you want to be notified about the release, make sure to follow or subscribe, or join my Patreon as a free member.